Last time, Mine was super happy and excited to be able to serve the evil dragon lord, and Langdon was getting some familiar vibe from her, the vibe that his elf waifu gives off. To be useful and helpful to her new lord, she informed Langdon about one of her friends who has the ability to stretch her body, and she thinks that friend of her can be useful for her new lord in many ways, which makes Langdon wonder if that friend of her has the power of gum fruit. He gets ready to check that friend of hers later, but right now he just wants her to follow him to the ORCISH theater. They come back to the theater and Miss Emily was waiting for Langdon there, and she gets surprised to see that Langdon has brought another new woman with him again. Mines introduces herself and almost slipped the word that she is Langdon's slave, but Langdon stopped her before she finished her sentence. He then informs Emily that Mines is just his new assistant. He and his new assistant then gets ready to go back to their work. However, Emily is finding it strange because the dress this new assistant is wearing is quite strange. In the warehouse, Langdon orders Mines to find him a bottle of ink, and Mines is confused thinking why he asked her to find the bottle of ink when they are alone in a room and can do so many things together. Then she wonders if he wants to write something on her body with that ink. This gets her excited and now she is looking forward to it. She stumbled on an empty bottle and loses her balance. The bottle of ink that was in her hands went flying and so her shoe. And Langdon have also found some new materials for his new invention for his upcoming project. Mines, who have lost her balance after stumbling on that empty bottle, comes straight at him and crashes on him with her big melons. Emily was outside spying what those two were doing, and after hearing that loud noise she gets ready to see what is going on inside there, but gets shocked to see the sight in front of her. Well, that's a surprise. Everyone will think that they are doing the do thing if they saw two people in that position. So she excuses herself from there and apologizes for barging in like that. And now that they are already in this type of situation, Mines gets ready to continue with it and do the do thing already. However, Langdon stops her because he didn't bring her there for doing the do thing, and just orders her to go and get him a new bottle of ink. He has work to do, woman. It's not the time to do the do thing. And it seems like Mines got disappointed. She was so looking forward to it, to see the great evil dragon lord's thing. After something, Langdon have created his new invention, a rooster made of box. He proudly informs Mines about this new invention and that it's ahead of its time. It's the copier. This gets Mines excited, thinking, did the dragon lord invented a powerful weapon to conquer the world? However, she is not liking the look of this new weapon. It looks like a chicken no matter how she looked at it. Langdon brings a paper and gets ready to show her how this new invention of his works. He puts the paper inside the chicken. The chicken starts to shake. Then the paper comes out with some words written on it. Hello world. Langdon is happy because he has taken his first step to change the world. Then Emily burst in once again, but this time she burst in to inform about something emergency. Outside the theater, the blonde guy from before is causing some problem. He informs everyone that Langdon shamelessly molested and forced their goddess Audrey into doing that kissing scene. Poor Langdon is shocked because he didn't force Audrey to do something that she didn't agree. But that guy is super sure that Langdon forced his Miss Audrey to do that nasty kissing scene, because he is super sure that his Miss Audrey would never do such a nasty thing. And some people seems to be clueless. They don't know this Miss Audrey. And some are super sure that it was Miss Audrey who forced that kiss on Romeo because she was clearly enjoying it when she kissed him. The blonde guy notices Langdon in the crowd and calls him come out from his hiding. Langdon comes to him saying that he is misunderstanding something here. But that blonde guy is super sure that he understands everything here, and takes off his gloves and challenges Langdon for a duel. He throws that glove at Langdon as a sign of challenging him for a duel. Langdon still tells him that he is misunderstanding something here, but the blonde guy is ready to stake his dignity for this duel. Inside the theater's changing room, the ladies are changing their costumes. What a bad pussycat. Look at it. Where is it looking? Man, Elfria is something else, huh? Even the cats can't control themselves in front of her. Another blonde lady is changing her dress. She asks Elfria to tie her belt. Elfria helps her tie that belt and she was a little rough with that tying. Emily comes there and informs Audrey about her fan who is arguing with Langdon. The beautiful ladies have changed their dress and Audrey is surprised to hear that one of her fans is arguing with Mr. Langdon, and that blonde guy is ready to take on Langdon right away. Then Audrey comes there and she seems super mad about this. The blonde guy is happy because she came at the right time. He was about to teach Langdon a good lesson for forcing her into doing that kissing scene. She gives him a strong left slap and informs everyone there that the kissing scene between her and Mr. Langdon was completely voluntary. She agreed on doing that. Poor guy is shocked, and now others are making fun of him for being oversmart and now he has turned into a clown. Mines wonders if this is some kind of love triangle. This gives Langdon a new idea about his new movie, a love triangle, huh? He gets ready to go back and work on this idea of his. I am sure he is just going to pick up a movie, modified it and called it his own. The blonde guy, he tries to tell Audrey that Langdon is not a good guy, because Langdon threw him out from the theater last time. But Audrey doesn't give a crap about anything that is coming out from that guy's mouth. Poor guy breaks down after that. His heart has shattered into pieces. It's not going to be fixed anymore. Next, Audrey comes to Langdon's office and Mines is standing guard outside. Audrey is little worried because what happened just now was caused because of her. And now Mr. Langdon is mad because of that. She gets ready to explain it clearly to him. She comes inside, and Langdon was waiting for her because he has something to discuss with her. She walks to him and apologizes for what happened just now, and she didn't see the ink that was on the floor. Oh wait, that's not his office, it's the warehouse from earlier. Audrey steps on the ink, which makes her slip, and she went flying at Langdon. And just like us, even Langdon is surprised about how can one slip on an ink. She crashes onto him with her thick body and those knees. I am pretty sure where it will hit Langdon, and it will hit hard. Mines comes in to check what was that loud noise, and gets shocked to see the sight in front of her eyes. Langdon asks Mines to come and help him lift Miss Audrey. However, she too jumps into the fun. How can she miss such a good chance? After all, she is a succubus. And how can we forget about our Princess Elfria, the innocent and elegant princess of the elf forest? She too jumps into the fun. Oh hell yeah, what is this? 1, 2, 3, 4 and some. The ladies are grabbing him everywhere, and the succubus is even ready to take off his clothes. Melissa and Ackle comes there, and Melissa is surprised to see this rare sight. However, she is feeling like someone is missing in that ground. And she guessed it right, it's Ackle. Melissa looks at her, gives her a weird smile. And I am sure Melissa is mad at her because last time when she came to meet her apprentice was nowhere to be found. She gives her a kick right in her butt, sending her to Langdon. Now all four of them are stacking onto him. Poor guy seems to have passed out. After some time, even the great dragon is feeling pain all over his body. Those girls were just too much for him. And Elfria is mad because those two girls were already onto him when she came. So she wants to hang on to him for a few more seconds. Mines then notices Melissa, who is drooling looking at her, which is giving her creep. And Melissa is super happy to see a rare specimen, the succubus, right in front of her eyes. I am sure Melissa is already thinking of what kinds of potions she will make from this rare item. And she is surprised that Langdon actually managed to get his hands on such a rare piece. Now she wonders how can she get her hands on that rare item. Mines comes to Langdon and informs him about the person behind them who is staring at her like she is about to eat her. Langdon tells her not to worry and that Melissa is not a bad person. However, after seeing that evil and devilish laugh of Melissa, he warns Mines to be very careful around that psycho mage. That mage is very dangerous. She can change into any form to extract their bodily fluids. Ackle notices the chicken and asks Langdon what is that thing is. Langdon informs everyone that that thing is his latest invention. And someone is liking this new invention of his very much. She didn't thought that he can also make something like this. And she has already think of 50 ways to use it. She is going to learn to ride it up. Langdon yells at her, scolds her and tells her to come down quickly because it's not made for the things she is thinking. This makes her mad because he made a toy and he is not letting anyone to play with it. Langdon then properly informs them about this new invention of his, and it's called copier, a machine that can change world. It seems to have piqued Ackle's interest. However, the others are like, it's just a big rooster no matter how I look at it. Langdon gets ready to show them what his copier can do and puts a paper inside it. The rooster starts to shake. And Elfria is 100% sure that because that kind of frequency, she can't be wrong. She is 101% sure that it's a fun toy. Well, he can't argue with her anymore. Her mind is it's just full of something. The paper then comes out with something printed on it. The ladies takes a look at it. And it says something like, Langdon actually did such things to his female actors. They stares at him in a very strange way. He informs them that he didn't do anything like that. It's just a headline, a bullet headline. Audrey also informs them about that paper and is a clickbait, and Langdon is doing that for the publicity. They all know how fast gossip news spreads, so he is sure that with this it will spread even faster. Audrey is surprised that Langdon is not afraid of gossip, but he also wants to spread it to everyone. She gets happy thinking that he cares about her. Next, the newspaper spread throughout the imperial capital very fast. People are surprised to see the newspaper, and they didn't expect Langdon to do such a thing to his female actors. The heartbroken blonde guy, whose life has been destroyed after his Miss Audrey told him that she willingly kissed Langdon. He also notices the newspaper flying everywhere in the imperial capital. This shocked the poor guy. Next, in a certain theater, the owner of the theater is cursing Langdon because of Langdon. His theater is not doing well these couple of weeks. The blonde guy comes there to inform that theater's owner about a great news that will destroy Langdon. The theater's owner takes a look at the newspaper and scolds the blonde guy for reading such contents. The theater owner tells him to read it again. And after reading it carefully, he finds out that the headline and the content of it is way too different, and the actually news is about him. A pervert who tried to confess his love to Miss Audrey, which made her mad, and she even rejected him on the spot. Poor guy. The theater owner believes in his character that he is not that kind of a man. Blonde guy gets ready to go around the imperial capital, collect all the newspapers and burn them, so people will not find it and it will not bring negative impact to their troop. However, the boss informs him that he was planning on changing the development direction of his theater, and he is also thinking of trying that movie thing. This shocked the poor guy. This means his troop will have to withdraw from the theater. Boss tells him to pick up his things and go home. Blonde guy is outside, crying manly tears, cursing Langdon and punching the poor wall. He is scaring the kids walking around that place. In his weakest moment, someone comes there, a light of hope, 2 juggernauts. Oh, and a beautiful lady accompanied those 2 juggernauts, a beautiful saintess. And she stopped by because she heard blonde guy saying Langdon. She asks him if he knows Langdon. The man stands up asking, "Who are you?" The juggernauts informs him that she is the inquisitor of the Inquisition, the Lady Grace herself. The man remembers the Inquisition. It's the Holy Inquisition, the mysterious arm of the Holy. They have the right to deal with demons considered heretics themselves. This demon, she is hot. This Holy Inquisition is even more powerful than the imperial power. He wonders if they are here because Langdon have some conflict with the church. If that's the case, he gets ready to help the Lady Grace and take her where Langdon is. And she is there because recently she found some signs of demonic activity in the city, and conveniently something called movie happened to be very eye-catching during this time. That's why she is there to find out if there is some connection between those two. The man also believes in her, and he also thinks that Langdon is very suspicious. Next, at the amphitheater, the new episode coming out today, and everyone is excited about this episode. The blonde guy have also come there and he didn't find Langdon there. He tells Lady Grace that they should directly go to the shooting site because Langdon is not there. However, Lady Grace is now curious and wants to see for herself what Langdon's movie is about. Man, those 2 juggernauts, they sure are enjoying it. Look at their fingers, they sure have dived into something. Blonde guy informs her that the movie is very vulgar and she shouldn't watch it. But she made up her mind, and she is sure that there may be some clues for her in the movie. Next, in the shooting site, there are guards standing on guard now, and the shooting is going on. The elf princess comes to her Romeo, informing him that she is his one and true love. Ackle stops the shooting because the princess acting was so great that she did it in one shot. But the princess seems to be mad about something. She yells at Ackle to roll that camera again because she is not done yet. She hasn't kissed Langdon yet. Audrey played it, so she too wants to play it. Emily comes there with another bad news and tells them to stop shooting. Outside the shooting site, the guards have stopped Blonde Guy and the Lady Grace. Blonde is confused about why there are guards here. There was no guards there before. The guard informs them that they are guarding there because last time a certain someone claiming to be fan of Miss Audrey disrupted the scene. That's why they are there now, to not let that happen again. Blonde yells at those 2 guards. Lady Grace stops him. She gets ready to talk with those guards. Next, Emily is informing Langdon about how powerful those Holy Inquisition are. He is confused about why those holy guys are targeting him. Then they wonders if it could be because of certain someone. Poor little succubus is doomed now. She is sitting in the corner of the room in sad, depressed mode. Now she really wants to go home. If those holy guys finds her, she is dead. Thanks to Melissa magic, Melissa has changed minds into a cat and even hide her demonic energy. The Lady Grace comes there with her 2 juggernauts, but Mines is still worried after all. That woman in front of them is the Lady Grace of the Holy Church. Melissa tells her not to worry even if they finds out that she is a demon. Melissa tells her that she will hand her to the Holy Church, so they won't be in big trouble. Now she is sure that she is doomed. That Melissa witch, she turned Mines into a cat, so if that saintess finds out that the cat is a demon, they can just tell the saintess that they took that cat in from the street. The Lady Grace introduces herself, and also informs Langdon that his invention, the movie, is quite interesting. She watched it too on her way to here. However, she informs him that she still received reports that his works beautify demonic creatures and support taboo and forbidden love. She notices that cute black cat, and comes to pet it, while informing Langdon that she has come there to investigate for herself. And poor Mines is feeling like her end is just an inch away from her. The blonde guy comes in saying that the judge of the tribunal is there to judge Langdon specifically. Now his end has me to an end, and Langdon is not surprised to see him there. Audrey comes behind Langdon saying that she did on her own will. But the man is not buying that again. He is sure that Langdon must have brainwashed her. So he gets ready to use whips and candles to make her wake up from her dream. People are worried about Langdon and his team because this is bad. It's the Holy Church after all. They are worried thinking Langdon and his team will be tortured to death. The words from that blonde guy is making Audrey scared. Blonde guy laughs saying they should be scared after all they are going to be investigate and torture. She gets more scared. Langdon tells her not to worry and that he will take care of it. He said it like a real man. He informs the audience that he is going to be investigate, so during this period he won't be able to do anything freely. That's why he gets ready to suspend his series, Mischief Garden, right away because of the investigation. This super shocked everyone in the audience. It was like as if the lightning hit them. Now they are mad at the blonde guy who brought those holy church people. And now because of them, they won't get any new episode. So they protest to don't take Langdon away and let him continue the series. Blonde guy tries to stop them because it's the holy church who have come to investigate. Someone gives him a flying kick from behind. Public starts to beat him for trying to stop them from watching their favorite show. The Juggernauts tries to stop them, but the Lady Grace stops him. She then gets ready to leave from there saying that she listened to the villain's slander and wrongly blamed Mr. Langdon. And now that the misunderstanding is clear, she gets ready to take her leave from there. Langdon asks her if she is not going to take that man with her. However, she doesn't need a useless person like that man and tells him to deal with him as he likes. Now even Langdon is feeling sorry for that man, who is flat on the ground after getting washed by the audience. The Juggernauts are confused about why their Lady Grace didn't continue the investigation. And she didn't continue the investigation because of the people's reaction. She takes off the cloth covering her eyes, and underneath she has a beautiful eyes, and Langdon have piqued her interest. She gets ready to give him some special attention. People are happy because now they can watch their favorite show again. And Emily is surprised that Langdon actually managed to scare those holy church people away. Well, Melissa is also impressed how he handled the situation. She thinks he is worthy of being a man worthy of the gods. Elfria also jumps onto him. She didn't expect anything less from her man. She suggests to hold a party to thank the fans, and gets ready to take him to the pub that serve the best beer. In the pub, they have thrown a one hell of a party. The pub owner is surprised to see so many customers. The waiter informs her about Langdon, the one throwing this party, and he is the talk of the city right now. The man who invented movie and made a lot of money. She gets happy thinking he might be the one who will save her pub. And before she was not happy maybe because she was worried about who will pay the bill. But now that she knows that he made a lot of money from the movie, she is happy. Next, the lady owner was so happy that she even opened few buttons of her shirt to show how happy she is. She brought some special beers for her special guests. Melissa thinks that the wine there is really good and orders for more. Lady owner informs them that they are lucky to drink her wine. If they have come there a few days later, they wouldn't get the chance to drink it. And that's because she is going to close her that inn of hers, which is really a sad news. Elfria suggests her to ask Mr. Langdon to buy her in. And she is definitely sure that her man can easily buy that in. Well, if she asks him like that, pressing him with her big melons, he got no choice but to buy it. And with the money he has accumulated through previous movies, he is sure that buying that in is not a problem. Two ladies get super happy and rewards him with their 2 big melons. That's a nice reward. But the reward seems to be too heavy for Langdon to handle. He is feeling like these 2 rewards will break his neck. They sure are heavy. Even Melissa is shocked to see that even an evil dragon is having trouble handling those 2 rewards. After some time, Elfria has finally passed out. Langdon is relieved that she finally stopped. She sure drank a lot. After that, he calls Emily to inform that he is going to buy that pub. Oh wait, he still has his tail. Did no one notice that? Or he can make it looks like he doesn't have a tail. Oh well, he's a magic dragon. I'm sure he did something about that. Anyways, Emily is surprised thinking he loved the wine so much that he is thinking of buying the pub. However, that was not the reason. It's just someone forcefully demanded him to. And now he is done there. He gets ready to start the next issue of news without further ado. Emily is surprised that he is starting the next issue so soon. It hasn't been a week. But well, strike while the iron is hot, right? He shows her the paper of what he is going to issue. She read it and is shocked to find the content of it, which says, a well-known movie star is accused by the judge of being devil believer, and the entire crew will be sentenced to death at the stake. She is surprised by the content because it will be fire when they release it. But she is also confused because the church didn't do anything like that. Langdon just informs her to release the newspaper, and we'll wait to see what happens next. Next day, the same little kid is selling the newspaper. People are shocked after reading the newspaper. The people are mad because the church is going too far with this. Langdon is creating an art and the church are trying to kill him for doing that. They gets ready to go to the Holy See to petition. Inside the Holy Church, Lady Grace have returned with her 2 juggernauts. The Archbishop asks her about the investigation. How did it go? She informs him that there were not enough evidence to support the claim. Then someone comes there rushing and informs the Archbishop that the church has been surrounded by a mob, and shows them the reason why that mob surrounded them. It started after they read the newspaper and started to riot. Lady Grace gets ready to take a look at what the newspaper has to say to make those people started to riot. She too gets shocked after reading the newspaper because the church haven't said anything like that. She asks the man about the one who wrote that article. The man has already did his investigation on this article. He informs them that the one who wrote that article is Langdon himself. This shocked the Lady Grave even more, like WTF is going on with him. And this has made the Archbishop super mad. He gets ready to quickly arrest Langdon and punish him severely. The Archbishop orders Grace to go there personally and arrest Langdon. Then the blonde guy comes there running, shouting, "Archbishop, something big happened." The mob. Grace stops him with her leg and is surprised that he still has the nerve to come back to her, even after what he did last time. Archbishop asks Grace, "Who is that man?" She informs him that he is just drama actor and a pervert. Blonde guy makes himself clear that he is anything but a pervert, and he is a devout believer, and that he is there to inform that the mob outside is unstoppable. This makes the Archbishop wonder what is so strange about this mob. He gets ready to go outside and see for himself. He opens the door of the church and is shocked to see the number of people in front of his eyes. There are more than thousands of people outside the church, and they are all demanding to release Langdon. And they are holding stones in their hands. They even throw those stones at the Archbishop and also some egg to make some omelet. Archbishop quickly closes the door. He realizes that this matter have become rather big. Even Grace is shocked to see the Archbishop like that in front of the door. Archbishop then asks blonde guy's name. He was about to say his name. Then Archbishop orders him to go and invite Langdon over to the church. Man, this guy's name's still a mystery. Grace wonders if the Archbishop is dropping his idea of arresting Langdon. Well, he got no choice now. He gets ready to hold off that arrest for a moment and use Langdon to quell the mob outside. He gets ready to make blonde guy the judge of the Holy See as long as he can bring Langdon to the church. He gets ready to do his best to bring Langdon to the church. In the theater, Langdon have made Akol draw some painting of his two female leads, and he is going to use this poster of his two female leads as the movie poster. And he is surprised to see that Akol is a professional painter. Now that she has drawn the two ladies, she will have to draw the male lead too. However, she is still not good at drawing men. If that's the case, Elfria suggests her to ask Langdon, the magic dragon, to take off his clothes, get naked, so the painter can observe carefully, which will help Miss Painter to draw him more accurately. The blonde guy comes there. Now Langdon is getting annoyed seeing his face every day. Man, this guy, in just last 4 chapters, he has appeared more than our waifu Melissa. I want to see Melissa, she is my favorite. Anyways, this time the blonde guy have come as a messenger of the Holy See, and he is there to invite Langdon to go to the church in person. Langdon is surprised to see that his article have worked even faster than he thought. He gets ready to go, but he has one condition. They arrived at the church, and they enter from the back door instead of the front because the entrance is surrounded by mob. Inside the church, the Archbishop and Grace was waiting for him there. Langdon asks the Archbishop to get to the point right away because he doesn't have time, and he can't waste his precious time here. The Archbishop asks him if he had some misunderstanding with Lady Grace when she visited him. And hearing the word misunderstanding used by the bishop, it's making Langdon a little scared. Because misunderstanding can destroy many things, they came to investigate him because of a misunderstanding. And he had a great time chatting with Lady Grace. And now there are a lot of people outside the church because of a misunderstanding, and he is sure that there is no misunderstanding between them anymore. And now the misunderstanding has been resolved. Archbishop asks him to calm the people outside, and also there won't be any misunderstanding in the future. Langdon gets ready to go and calm those people outside. Now, Grace is mad at Langdon because he is not taking the Holy See seriously at all. Bishop calms her down because their empire is at the most turbulent right now and they shouldn't mess with anyone when they don't even know the background of Langdon. He then asks her about the people they sent to keep an eye of the queen. She informs him that they were unable to gather information because the queen's whereabouts were always erratic. However, one thing is certain, that the queen have started to attack the nobles. And damn, that rear side of hers is a feast for eyes. Bishop gets ready to pay more attention to the queen and her whereabouts. And about Langdon, he gets ready to send the guy who brought Langdon to the church to be responsible for surveillance on Langdon. However, Grace informs him that the man didn't return with Langdon, which surprises Bishop, thinking, where did that guy go then? Poor guy seems to have become a posture man for the great painter. And that was the one condition that Langdon asked him before. Next, at the Hazlitt Manor house, the queen is taking a bath. Hetty comes there with some clothes for her majesty. She puts on her clothes, and seeing her putting her clothes like that is making Hetty little blush. The queen has changed into a beautiful clothes and she looks amazing in it. I mean, look at her. And seeing that Hetty is not speaking a word after she put on that cloth, she wonders if the dress doesn't look good on her. There is no way, honey, you are looking bad in that dress. Hetty is having problem because her majesty is so close to her, and she didn't say a word because she lost words to say after seeing her majesty in that dress. The queen is enjoying teasing Hetty like that, and the queen looking at her like that is making Hetty even more blush. Now that she is done teasing Hetty, she gets ready to hear about the news that Hetty brought for her. Hetty informs her about Langdon's movie, which was a big hit, and everyone in the city is unexpectedly following his movies. In addition, he also organized a large number of people to surround the church. This was a super surprise to the queen. She is shocked, thinking why he did that to the church. However, Hetty also doesn't know the specific situation, and it seems to have affected the shooting. Queen laughs, saying, "He really surprised me this time." And tonight they have invited many nobles, because the queen is having a birthday. And all the nobles have arrived at the mansion. She asks Hetty to invite Langdon to the banquet too, because she is going to begin her plan in advance. Next, Langdon comes back to the theater, and Emily was so worried about him, because he was late and she thought that the church might have done something to him. And his elf waifu was also super worried because she thought he eloped with that nun. She grabs him tightly and informs him that if he must elope, then elope with her. However, he is not going to elope with anyone. Emily then informs him about the invitation sent by the Hazlitt family, and she is surprised because there are many big nobles attending this banquet. Langdon gets ready to go, thinking this might be a great opportunity to expand his business. Next, Emily and Langdon arrives at the banquet. He didn't bring his elf waifu this time. Langdon asks Emily about Ackle because he didn't see her anywhere after he returned from the church. And that's because Melissa, her teacher, took Ackle back to do some important experiment. He remembers some experiment that Melissa did on Ackle. Now he just hopes that Ackle will make it back alive. The host of the party comes down, and they both are looking gorgeous in that dress of theirs. Everyone's eyes are on Lelia. Old men are sure if anyone marries her, that guy won't come out from the room for weeks. And they are also sure that one guy is not enough for sure. One noble tries to stop those two old men and informs them about the assassination of the other noble, and it's said that the one behind it is Lady Lelia. But the old man doesn't think that it is Lady Lelia, and even if it's her, he gets ready to train her properly after marrying her, which makes the other nobles mad because they are also in the line to marrying her. And that old coot is saying that he is going to marry such a beauty. However, old man tells him not to worry because he can share her with them once he is done with her. Now this is getting all of them excited. All the men who have come there are thinking about one thing only: make that Lady Lelia theirs. This is making Hetty super mad. She is ready to cut them down. Lelia stops her because they won't be seeing tomorrow's sunrise. Langdon greets her. She too greets him and is happy to see the Empire's most famous man. And she is feeling like she is being rewarded with his presence there. And is also surprised because he doesn't take the Holy See seriously, and even pushed them to the corner when they came for him. She then informs him that she invited him there because she has a surprise for him. And thank you guys for watching. If you enjoyed it, then click the next video popping on this video. Also like and subscribe for more.